Z Capitan writes in and says, Obsidian released their new game on Game Pass and on Steam. It is a bestseller right now. Is it the game, or is it that it's Obsidian? And if the latter, is it good or bad for the future of Xbox first-party games? That's a great question. Let's to answer this question, let's review Grounded. We all got a chance to play it. I freaking love that game. I was surprised at how quickly it sucked me in, and I think it's because it's unique. It does have that Outer Worlds feel, that Outer Worlds zaniness and attention to detail, but I'm a little midget running through the grass. Yeah. And holy crap!
I believe, actually, in this case, you are a little person.
I'm a little person. Yeah. Sorry,
I literally am a shrunken person. I think that's the correct. I'm pretty sure in this context that's actually what you're supposed to say.
I'm running through the. I'm running through the grass. Now this is an early access game. This is an Xbox game preview, so it only has like the first part of the story, but you can build. The building mechanics in this game, I'm super impressed with. One of the things that I really like that I hope other building games do, that they do correctly, is you can blueprint it out. So you can build this whole structure with blueprints to see and make sure you get stuff right before you actually use materials to put them down. And it can stay there permanently as a blueprint while you're working on it. I think that's super cool. It has the feeling of Outer Worlds, the character of Outer Worlds, but you're in this crazy new backyard world of grass and bugs and ants and getting one-shotted by freaking roaches that just destroy you. And I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised at how good that game was and how quickly it sucked it in, at least for me. Yeah. I do think this is a unique experience, so it might not be for everybody. But I didn't expect to like this game. I didn't even get interested in this game until the Game Pass showcase, and the gameplay looked really cool and interesting. And I really like it. I like even just the story that is set up. There are these bunkers throughout the yard that you're unlocking, and there's a story there's like robots basically in labs that are created in the story, and it just gives you a sample of the story in this preview mode, and then it opens up the sandbox mode for you after that. But I'm very excited for the future of this game. Is it Obsidian or is it the game? I think it's a little bit of both. I think people are excited because they know Obsidian as a quality developer. But then the game has to deliver, and if it doesn't deliver, I don't think it becomes the best. It's the best-selling game on Steam right now. Actually, ready for this?
I'm ready.
4 of the top 6 games on Steam right now, best-selling games this week, all Microsoft games.
Wow.
You've got Halo Master Chief Collection. You've got Microsoft Flight Simulator. You've got Grounded. And I forget the third one.
And then the other one that we all know about.
Yeah, the other one that I just forget off the top of my head. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. That's my first impressions of Grounded. Jordan, how about yourself? What do you think?
So I like the game, but I feel it's just this is the only early access game that has made me feel weird about
like pedophile weird? What kind
of
weird are we
not
going
dildo
here?
gun weird.
Like I feel
we just got done talking about dildo guns. That didn't make you feel weird.
Well, no,
but this makes you feel weird.
Well, no, like
the dildo gun made him smile.
Mark and I was actually just talking about this. I feel satisfied yet taken advantage of at the same time.
Okay.
I
think we've all been there.
No, it's because I think the base game is really good. I think the mechanics are cool. I love the blueprint system, how you can build up your base and then have all your friends come in and bring you material and stuff like that. So you can basically put the blueprint of what you want your base to look like and then bring the materials in later and slowly build it up. I like that it's difficult. Like if you come across a spider and you're under leveled, or even the army ants, they attack you. I like the survival aspect. I like that it's leaning towards the survival aspect. I like that it's a little bit more simplistic than like an Ark, as in it's just water and food. Water, food, and health, right?
Okay, keep going. So don't read chat. It'll make you laugh.
Yeah, like when you, water, food, and then health and stamina, right? Like it's a very simple system, right? I like that. I like the simplicity behind it, but I also like how in depth you can go with the building. I think the story stuff is going to be cool, and it was interesting going from story to story, even though it was only, 45 minutes. When you eventually, because I did go through and beat it. Given this it's just like they did say when you beat it, there will be more to come, right?
Yeah.
And this is where I get into that awkward phase of I was satisfied, but also feel taken advantage of. in the respect that I went to a multiplayer game, and everybody's, you can complain about this if you want, but I feel like if you're going to have even if it's early access, if you're going to have a multiplayer aspect, this should not be your number one bullet point of coming soon. So you go into multiplayer, you create the match, and it says coming soon, invite friends. What?
Yeah, it's not.
What?
I haven't been able to jump into it.
Well, you can. You just have to do it through the Xbox not
Live,
the game, right? Like, and it's difficult, right? And that I wasn't. I mean, there was a few multiplayer issues we had, but I'm not complaining about that because of the early access, right? I understand that, but it feels to me, and I'm not complaining about this game because I really like it. I think this has a potential.
What
to be
you're complaining about is the preview aspect of this game?
Yeah, why did you not wait another month or two and then release this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to go to preview for this?
Yeah, I wonder
or even wait another month or two and then go to preview,
where you can invite your friends.
Yeah, but it was just there was certain features that were really good that I really enjoyed, like the simplicity of the survival, water, food, stamina, health. I love the blueprint system. I love the discovery system where you take it and scan it.
Yeah.
And then when you build a piece of armor or build a new equipment, you can take that and scan that, and it'll show you upgrades and different stuff. I love
Very
that
cool.
aspect. I like how big the world is. I like how certain zones you need a gas mask to go into. I like the set. There's a lot that I like about it. And people are probably just going to say, well, it's early access. It's to be expected. But, I mean, I don't think it's to be expected from this type of developer, because why is a multiplayer, like, why invite your friends? Why is that coming soon? You know what I mean? Like, why is that coming soon? I guess you can argue the story, but why isn't there more? The thing that gets me about the story, and you know what? You can't argue the story. I think there should have been more story in there, because leading up to this game, they talked about how they want to change the way survival games tell stories. I'll be honest, it's 20 minutes longer than... It's about a 20-minute story.
Yeah.
It's about a 20-minute story if you just go straight through it. And to be honest, it's 20 minutes longer than any other survival story that there is,
true.
right? But
it had the story aspect of it too. Had that outer world.
No, it
feel.
did,
like
and it was mysterious,
different,
it was fun,
and
right?
intriguing, and that's the part that I think helped suck me in. And
Exactly.
then when you get to the end, I didn't have a problem with it because I think I went in with low expectations. I was like, okay, this game looked pretty good
All
on
right, this
Game
game's
Pass.
gonna
I'm
suck.
not into this. Really, this was probably going to be pretty gimmicky, right? That's kind of how I approached it. But it's not at all, and I think that's where maybe I don't have a problem with the chat said it feels more like a demo than other game previews have felt.
Yeah.
I think that's inaccurate.
No, I do too, and the reason the story not necessarily upsets me, but just makes me ask why, is because you talked about in your bullet points or in your hype up, you mentioned like we're gonna change the way survival tells story, and then it's only a 20-minute thing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I understand it's a smaller development team. I think it's like 15 people or something like that. But I don't know. I just feel there's a lot of stuff that I like the combat. I like all the survival and building aspects. I think that part is solid and that's ready to go. You know what I mean? And the discovery of stuff, the exploration, the story stuff. I think what I'm upset with and where I feel like they took advantage of me is your feature set.
Yeah.
The fact that there's not an invite your friend thing, the lack of story, I guess, only 20 minutes if you just go straight through it. I mean, and the game is more about surviving and building, and I get that, but it's just you kind of hyped up these features and stuff like that. Yeah, it
is preview mode though.
No, and that's what people are gonna say, and I get that, but I feel like why didn't you just wait another couple months and then put it into preview? Like it's like it's.
So
yeah, it's
so
an interesting.
Is your complaint that you wanted more of it? That it's incomplete, that there just wasn't enough there for you to sink your teeth into? What I mean,
he just wanted an X to invite friends.
Well, yeah, I wanted.
I think that's the blue button on the controller.
That was.
I'm pretty sure that you just want to be able to press that and invite friends.
That was the final straw, right? I just
pretty
feel,
sure that's what it comes down to.
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting tired of early access games, right?
Okay.
It might just be
That's
that,
fair.
right?
yeah, I think that's fair.
But it's just, why didn't they wait until it was more completed? You know what I mean? And then go into early access to test out your multiplayer, your service, your stuff like that. You know what I mean? Why not complete it? I feel like they put it out early because we needed a game for this time slot. You know what I mean? We needed that hype that we needed to fill the slot. You know, and I'm not saying it's a bad game. I enjoyed it. I've played it quite a bit this week in single player mode and in multiplayer mode, which I did give feedback. One of my quality of life changes that I would like is being able to name your save files. Yeah. Because it's actually incredibly complicated.
It's true.
It's like, okay, I think that was our multiplayer save, right? Let's go to the single player save, right? You know what I mean? So, other things I'd like to see, if they get to that point, would be like a bigger server with more players, right? But anyway, those are just my thoughts on it, right? I like the game. I just feel like they just should have waited. It felt incomplete to me. And I get that it's early access, and maybe I'm just tired of early access games. But I wanted a more complete experience. Okay. That being said, I think the game is really fun.
That's fair. Spicy.
Jordan, doesn't the fact that you can go anti-arachnophobia mode outweigh the fact that you don't have a blue button?
Yeah, well, the thing is, they took the time to put that feature in.
Dude, how about those spiders, though? Because I was like, well, why would you need to do that? But the spiders are scary.
Yeah, but have you got into arachnophobia mode?
No.
It's basically a snowball.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's awesome.
It's hilarious.
They're just big snowballs running around and destroying everything.
I actually think it looks scarier as a snowball with eyes than it does.
No, but I actually really like this game. I think this game is Ark without the geopolitics that come with
the perpetual online server.
with the perpetual online server that Ark, is
geopolitics. That's funny.
Yeah, because it's like all like terrain based, and there's so many adult things that happen in the Ark server that you're just like, oh my gosh. This is more. I wouldn't say this is like Ark for kids. I would say this is Ark for people with kids.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's still very fun. I really enjoy this game. I played it like Jordan. I played it all week too, and I played with Jordan. Once we figured out that you could just join through Xbox Live versus inviting friends. But I really, it's an interesting game because it's obviously preview. There's building. I do like the fact that you can
blueprint
it out, but there are some quirks with the building that is really frustrating. For example, let's say I'm over by the oak tree and I die by means that aren't my fault. Like just randomly 5 spiders appear all around me. I get warped back to my base, where you have your sleeping bag or whatever. And then I'm surrounded by cockroaches and everything else, and then I just keep dying over and over and over in my base. Which it's a base. I should be safe in my base, but I'm not because they appear in my base somehow, right? So
you are probably
you gotta upgrade. Hive. You gotta upgrade to that weed, weed walls, Or
that's the spiders, man. They're mean,
dude, and they're creepy. They were legitimately creepy. Yeah. It was like, oh my goodness.
And it's a difficult game, but it's fun. I think it's great. I think that I was a little disappointed when 20 minutes in, I made it to the robot, and he's like, well. Hope you enjoyed the story.
Thank you for the preview.
And they're saying there's going to be more stories. So, but with that attached to that, it is a preview game, so it's a whatever for that stuff. I think the game screams potential.
It really does. I think that's the thing. There's so much potential that when you get to that point, you're like, oh, I want more, because it does have that Outer Worlds single story feel to it. You can see that this is definitely Obsidian. There's character there. Z Capitan, one of his questions. Is it good or bad for the future of Xbox first-party games? I would like to answer that.
For what? On what context?
For Grounded. Just is Grounded. It's a bestseller right now. It's the number one selling game right now on Steam, actually.
It's another game. It's another game that has mixed reviews. It doesn't say, on Steam how it says mostly positive, mostly negative. Yeah. This is a game that's all over the map with the reviews, but it is the most popular right now, right?
Yeah.
So...
and I bet you those reviews, if you were to go read them, and I haven't, so take this with a grain of salt, but I would be willing to bet it's similar complaints to Jordan. I bet you it was people that maybe got the game not realizing it was Game Pass, or not Game Pass, sorry, preview, that it's an early access game, although on Steam it does say early.
It's pretty right in your face.
Pretty right in your face. Is it good or bad for the future of Xbox? I think we did a video on our channel, on the XoneBros channel this week, and I talked a little bit about this, that I think it bodes well for the future of Xbox. I think a lot of people are complaining that Xbox doesn't have X, Y, or Z game, and I think those games are coming. I think the single-player, first-person, hardcore PlayStation 5 AAA game, those are coming. We haven't seen anything from the Initiative, and the Initiative is the big boy, right? Like, we haven't seen anything from half of their developers.
I think I know what they're making. Just throwing that out there. I have theories. I think I know exactly.
I think those games are coming, but I don't think Microsoft right now is going to live or die by those games yet, right? Like, I think Grounded proves that. I think games The name of the game is the game, and the game has to be fun. And what stood out to me with Grounded is it's just fun. Like that.
No, I agree.
It's just fun, and it's a game where, like you said, Spicy and Jordan as well, it screams potential. If you have this kind of game on a Game Pass, it just complements the rest of your library so well. I think it bodes well for Game Pass.